Hi, it's Joy, and today we're watching The Bad Batch, Season 1, Episode 3, Replacements. I am very excited to jump into another episode of this show. A reminder that, as always, you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon 2 weeks in advance, the edited version 1 week in advance, and let's go.
That doesn't look comfortable. For either of you.
We're fine.
Yeah. As soon as I finish building this scanner, testing the functionality of our inhibitor chips takes precedence.
I thought you said they were defective.
A theory this device will be able to prove.
Besides, they did seem to be
shipwide
defective, but we'd have assumed the same with Crosshair.
Systems were compromised.
Were you wrong about that?
Getting thrown out of hyperspace. I'd say that's pretty critical, Tech.
It's not affecting life support. We're fine.
Are you kidding me?
We need to discuss what critical means.
First crash landing.
Oh, poor droid.
Ow! We're gonna die, we're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine.
So convincing, I am reassured. At least he's trying to be a good big brother, parent figure.
I'll say it. I kinda miss him.
He shot you, remember?
He's
I sure do.
possessed.
It's worth
Brainwashed.
noting that
My god, I actually forgot the word brainwashed. I came up with brain possessed.
I hear your chain code implementation has been most successful.
Laying the foundation of our new empire is of the utmost importance.
Indeed.
Gotta control the people.
Is that the enhanced clone from the report?
Our facilities are fully capable of creating more clones for the task.
Sustaining such a vast engagement...
Do these recruits, are they, you know, volunteers? And do they have any idea what they're actually...
elite squad.
Do they have any idea what they're getting themselves into?
Together, they would make a formidable army.
They're the replacements.
Partnerships such as...
Nah, no place for you in this world.
I am well aware.
Oh
I
lord.
just need to secure it.
At least it's not a giant spider. I'll take this. Lizards are fine. I mean, I don't want a lizard in my room, but...
I'm a little busy.
Oh god.
Look at this.
Maybe don't go too far from the ship. Oh god. Oh no!
Something's causing damage to the exterior hull.
You want to narrow that down?
The capacitor has been stolen by a lizard. Oh lord.
What?
Creature is most likely an Ordo moon dragon. A
Oh, great.
species that feeds on raw energy.
Oh,
It
even
was
better.
probably drawn.
That would have been good to know beforehand, Tech. You two get those
Yeah.
other systems online.
Tech has a lot of knowledge. He needs to be better at sharing it.
Stay here. Oh, that thing could be dangerous.
I'm part of this squad now too.
Yes,
right?
but you're the child. You grow up, then you fight.
All right, kid.
It's too
Just-
young.
Stay close.
With the Empire, I get paid, I get fed, and I have a roof over my head. That's more than the Republic ever did for me.
Yep. And if other people get oppressed, I'm
Conscripted
doing alright.
recruits will never... Skills can be taught. The
But not
loyalty
en
of those
masse
who
to
willingly
everyone.
enlist is what I see tremendous value in.
We need
These
to
are like
see
the
them in
best of the
action.
best. That's going to be very different to your average conscript.
Send the clone and your recruits to
Or
Omega.
recruit even.
I want
Volunteer.
Volunteer. Camp
Yeah, they're using your facilities to get rid of you. She just wants to learn everything from him.
We don't leave our own behind.
Then we'll find a way to get him back.
Bless this baby. I mean, I hope they do, because he is one of them. He's the one I'm most happy to leave behind. But maybe he'd be nicer without the chip.
How come the Empire's scouting soldiers like us?
Because you're cheaper?
Sounds to me like it's time for a change.
You're cheaper cannon fodder. Move. Fly away if you can, or run away. Gotta get on that shuttle. You should have done the minute a sensor was tripped. Oh my god.
It's getting away!
Oh god, he's...
Hunter, wake up! Wake up! Echo, Wrecker, Tech, come in! We need help!
Oh god, the lizard. Oh. She's gonna go after alone after the lizard, isn't she?
You can do this.
Look, you're wonderful, but you are a child, okay? This brave child is gonna cause me stress. The people in the back are not fighters.
But I wouldn't tell you if I did.
Next person. Where's Guerrera?
These are civilians. We should bring
Oof,
them in.
yeah.
Those weren't our orders.
And good soldiers follow orders.
You want to know why they put me in charge?
Goodbye, sir.
It's because I'm...
Yeah. Welcome to the Empire. They may pay you.
Follow orders.
This is the moment of truth. The three of you might be able to take him. Oh, this baby. Yeah, give him the torch and he'll go away. He loves that energy. I love seeing her wonder for all the things she's experiencing. She is wonderfully capable. I just want her safe because she's so small.
Didn't have to use it. I got the part.
She is wonderful and we need to learn more about just how wonderful she is in a lot of ways.
The clone commander's new squad has followed through, where his brethren did not.
Further proof that this initiative has potential.
That
The
you
clone
found
trooper
people that
program is
chose
the
their
cost
own lives
prohibitive
over
relic
other
of the
people's.
But until the time
Must ensure our clones remain essential.
The original genetic material from Django Fat.
I love
continues
seeing
to
this.
degrade.
And we only need one.
Fuck.
Our survival hinges on it.
If you only need one, you've got Crosshair, haven't you? They're literally going to replace them, like, living together as well.
Tech,
I do
get us
feel
out
for
of here.
him.
Hey, kid, come with me. Cover your eyes.
Did he make her a bedroom? Because I might be emotional about that.
Check it out.
Oh.
It's your own room.
And she can see the stars. And he gave her the teddy bear.
What do you think?
That is so
I thought this place
sweet.
could feel more like a home.
It's perfect. Thank you, Rekka.
It was nothing.
That's so sweet.
I never had my own room before.
Oh,
Well, you're part of this squad now too.
we're a family. Already I love them so much. And she'd love to be able to see the stars. Okay, when people said how good this show was, they were not lying. I did have my reservations going into it because I didn't love the Bad Batch's inclusion in the Clone Wars, but I think, as always, that was just kind of the way that their characters acted in the context of what was happening. I didn't love. But I have loved these stories and I've loved getting to know these characters because I think when they were in the Clone Wars as well, it was very much like, look at how out there and different these guys are. And I was kind of like, okay, yeah, I get it. Move on. Whereas in this, we're seeing that, yes, they do have all these skills and they are a bit eccentric or they're very different, but we're seeing who they really are under the surface. And I love that so much. I particularly enjoy Hunter and Omega's relationship, but Wrecker and Omega are amazing in this episode. And I think Omega really adds a heart to this show, and that isn't to say that there wouldn't have been one if it had just been the clones, because there is obviously a brotherhood among the Bad Batch, Squad 99, but Omega just kind of makes it even more so. They're learning new things about themselves and about the world, as they also have freedom for the first time, and she has freedom for the first time. They've known a degree of freedom before, but not like this. I love seeing the way their unit works. Like, you know, Tech probably was aware that that was probably going to fail and they end up having to have crash land, but just didn't think that was a necessary thing to mention. It's sort of like you can definitely see how although their enhancements can also be weaknesses, which is true of everybody. Your strengths can be your weaknesses can be your strengths in certain other ways. And I'm glad that they kind of mentioned Crosshair again and mentioned missing him, because of course they do. Even if he's a brother you constantly argue with, he's a brother. He's someone you've served with, lived with your entire life and spent every day with, and he's not here. And the way Omega is just such a beacon of light with every situation, like, oh, we'll find a way to save him, or, you know, you can't blame him, it's not his fault, we'll save him. I absolutely adore that so much. And I love seeing how resourceful she is. I mean, every time she voluntarily puts herself in danger, I am going to be concerned about it because she's a child, but she's so resourceful, and I just cannot wait to learn more about her. I wonder if she is part of a first attempt at this new clone procedure that they're working on in the cloning facility, because that is ominous. And I wonder if Crosshair wouldn't be enough for that because the chip worked in him, so he's not as cool as the rest of them. I don't know. Um, I just absolutely love the fact that he made her a bedroom and he made it so pretty, like homely, comfy. He gave her his stuffed toy that he loves, and she can see the stars because we know how much she just loves taking in everything she can see. Even if it's a scary lizard thing, she absorbed everything that was happening and she made an intelligent decision that got herself out of it, got what they needed, and she took in a wonderful sight at the same time. I love it so much. She was able to save her. It was just a very, very good episode. I also really like that we're kind of touching on the transition. Obviously, we're not touching on it, it's being explored very heavily. The transition between clones to stormtroopers, to conscripted troops, to recruited. I mean, conscripts aren't exactly willing or loyal necessarily, but to recruited troops. Because obviously it is a huge difference. And I think we can all agree becomes a huge difference in the quality and the skill of the soldiers. Stormtroopers are not as efficient or as good as clones were. And it's been a while since I watched The Force Awakens, etc. Was Finn not like, he wasn't like a clone, but he was kind of just born and bred to be a soldier in like a, obviously it was the New Order or whatever, it wasn't like the original Empire, but I guess that's kind of like an attempt to go back to the clone concept because stormtroopers were so rubbish. But you can definitely see the concept here. They probably spend a lot of money and resources to this random facility that churns out clones, and clones that were so symbolic to the Empire, to the Republic, and not the Empire. And you kind of think, well, if we can use our own people, it's a much more callous way of doing it. I mean, I don't agree with the existence of the clones. I think it's a form of slavery. I've talked about that a lot in the Clone Wars reactions, but you could kind of see the purpose of it being none of our citizens will have to die or fight in this war, because so all the people that vote for us and like all of our that we represent, they're all going to be fine, and it's just these clones that we've bred for this purpose, and who cares? It was kind of the mentality behind it. And yes, they'd be super amazing, wonderful soldiers, but it was still very much they were just producing cannon fodder en masse. Whereas now it's like, oh, we can save some money by paying some stupid idiots to go and shoot guns for us, and if they die, oh well, there's always some more people to come for. We rule an entire empire, and if we run out of soldiers, we'll just go oppress another planet. Kind of vibe. It's very empire-y. And you know, you had the guy sort of doing the appeal of, well, you know, the empire's given me a wage and a meal. It's more than the Republic ever did. Boom, you're dead. It definitely is a sign that things can look good on paper and not be good in reality. I think it's also key to note that the clones refused to shoot the innocent civilians or even the soldiers. They got there and they were like, this mission is not what we thought it was. We are not doing this. One of the troopers did say, I'm not killing civilians, and I do respect him for that. But the others, when it became clear it was them or the civilians, chose the civilians. And I'm not going to sit here, no one knows what they were doing in that situation. No one, like, it's an impossible situation to be in. But I do think it's quite telling that those individuals clearly were kind of like, fuck. And then they just did it. The Empire does not encourage you to develop your best self. It encourages you to develop your worst. This was a really good episode. This show is off to a very promising start. A reminder that, as always, you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon 2 weeks in advance, the edited version 1 week in advance. And thank you so much for watching.